All right, what's up, guys? I am back with a daily recap. Today is Wednesday, the 28th of June. I am so pumped today, guys. Today was a really big day for me. It was my biggest MIC trading day to date. Obviously, you guys know I'm trading with just really small size. So my P&Ls are small, but this was my first day being over $30 as my winners with MIC. So that's big for me. Some of you guys, that's one lunch is a Chick-fil-A for two, but really it's not about the P&L. It's about how well I traded the process today. And that's what really matters. And that's what was absolutely killer today. So I want to go over my trade on GRVI. Everything about this, I would say for the first time with MIC so far, I felt the matrix, right? I've had some really good trades before and I felt some of it, but I was just in tune with this all morning long. I was on call with Xander, during market open and through this, and then also talking with my tag group. Shout out to Selena, who had amazing trades on this as well. Shout out to Garrett as well, who caught this. So our tag just killed it today. I know some of you also in MIC traded this beautifully, but so let me just go over this. Obviously, you've got this day one runner, moving up, and it was kind of setting up to be the hot chick. So obviously on this, what do? You wait for it to break down, you wait for confirmation, and then you attack outer lines, once it's broken down. So obviously we see its run up here, and at the time, holding view up here, this was hot chick today. And then you have this kind of breakdown here going, I guess that 740 line, and kind of fades down here. And then this right here to me was a bit of a confirmation as it kind of stuffed right here. You could kind of say the 7 line, but it stuffed right below it. So you get that stuff straight through VWAP. Honestly, that was a good trade. I don't trade pre-market personally. Sorry, let me just mute this. I don't trade pre-market personally just because a lot of moderators advise against it. I'm not experienced and I don't want to be getting my feet somewhere where I shouldn't be. So I'm just patient and I wait for market open. But then it breaks down more. So to me, this is really confirmed. All right, this is going to be a play. I think this is going to be outer lines. The only thing is, holding this 6 support. So I know some people were looking at this for a VWAP rejection. And I was as well for a time kind of in this period here. I was considering this VWAP rejection 660 or 650, 660 kind of area, stop above 7. But once we kind of had this $6 line support so well, and then this run up, obviously I put that out the window. That thesis was no longer valid for me. When I've got support that is that close, and then we're making, you could call higher lows here, then I switch into, all right, I'm going outer lines on this for sure. Especially since GRVI, easy to borrow, low float, right? Those are 2 things you've got to be very, very aware of and watch out for. So you want to play outer lines on these when in doubt, right? I mean, in general, you should wait for your best entries. So I was just like, all right, I'm having patience and I'm waiting for this. So my lines on this were, let me get my executions down here. So I had 7, 720, and I also had, what else did I have here? Yeah, 7, 720, and 740, although I go 3 cents below all of those. So as you can see, I got all 3 of my executions here. Now here's what was really key. So we had this run up, I'm getting excited. We halted right here. And for me, this is why I'm so pumped today, because there was just so many breakthroughs. For me, whenever I get a halt, I instantly become nervous, a little scared. Okay, I have hesitation. I'm a little more overthinker, all that type of stuff. And so old me, and I'm even saying yesterday me, last week me, once it had that halt, I would have been, nope, I'm all out, I'm done. Oh, it's too scary, too risky. I'll watch it, I'll see, right? But it was a couple days ago. I can't remember the exact ticker. But it did the same. It started to run up really powerful. It halted. And when it unhalted, it tested outer lines perfectly. It was I forget the ticker, but it tested 7 and it dropped right out of halt to $6. So you made a $1 gain instantly. I'm sure some of you remember what ticker that was, but I can't remember it. And so I learned, right, guys? That's what you've got to do. You've got to learn to adapt, and you've got to remember, okay, I saw this last week. I saw this 2 days ago, and I didn't do it, and I should have. So now I'm going to learn from my mistake, and I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. So what I did, I saw the halt, and I said, all right, even though at that halt, outer lines are still valid. Just because it's halted doesn't mean anything, right? I'll be more cautious, but hey, I already got my hard stops in. Even before, here's something that some of you might want to do, and I don't know how all the brokers work, but I know for Cobra you can do this. When I place my fantasy orders out, all these 3 executions were all fantasy orders. When I place these fantasy orders out for my entries, I don't just do it for my entries, I will also place my hard stop out as well. So my hard stop on this was 745, which I got close to waking out, but obviously I'm stopping out over previous high day. So before I was even executed, before this even ran up, guys, I had my fantasy orders out and I had my hard stop already out and ready to go. And obviously I had the share count of these and my hard stop pre-typed out. So once all 3 of these got executed, I would have been in position for those shares, and then I would have been filled with a hard stop if I got stopped out. So for you guys, risk management is so key, especially if you do have something low flow, easy to borrow that can really just kind of swipe on you. You need to have that risk management. So I have my hard stops in before I'm even in position. That's how careful I am. So we got unhalted, went up, touched all of my lines absolutely perfectly. What was the top of this? 738. So I caught this top tick by 1 cent on this. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we kind of chugged around here. Here's my thought process. As you guys can see, this ad right here, or I'm sorry, not this ad, this cover right here, a little early, but let me tell you my thought process, and I don't regret this at all. We've been in this above VWAP after this halt for like 4 or 5 minutes now, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, I don't really like this. After that halt, after we stuff high day, I want this to drop. I want this to plummet. I want this to go. And so I'm a little bit kind of, I'm a little unsure. And at this point, I kind of felt like this was maybe a 50-50 chance that it was going to run or it was going to drop. Maybe even a little bit more in the long side because we're over VWAP like this and we're kind of holding this $7 line. So what I said to myself is, I want to take some of that risk off the table while I'm green in the trade. I don't want to be green in the trade, not cover, and then get stopped out and take a loss. So what I did right here is you've got that 7 line. And so 703, I put an order out there for 703 for half of my position size. Half of my position size. So I'm not, throwing away the trade or anything like that. I'm just protecting myself. Because if I'm in a trade and it doesn't do exactly what I want right away, I want to protect myself and take some of that risk off the table. So obviously, hindsight, it's like, oh man, it would have been perfect if I held it all. But I was protecting myself for what I saw in the moment. So I took 50% off there, and then bam, we get this major drop. Now, funny enough, I just clicked cover it all on my hotkeys right here. I was just like, I'm out, boom, after that drop, because I want to lock in those gains, don't get greedy. I know James and Harry, they say like their best trades happen the fastest, right? Their best trades are the quick ones. So when we had that drop like that, I was like, boom, thesis, there, gone. You still got that $6 support, so I don't really want to mess with it bouncing. And I told myself I can add back as well. So bam, cover. As soon as I covered, we halted to the downside, which was kind of funny as well. I was pretty hyped at that point, but no sweat. Obviously, I almost bottom ticked this as well, just by maybe 20 cents or something. Yeah, like 30 cents. So 30 cents is good, but hey, I'm not getting greedy here. So then we get this chug along action, and I told myself, and Selena in the room, we were talking about this pretty regularly, was we want to play a bounce for this, because after that death candle, after that stuff, you're wanting to a bounce, and especially with VWAP being perfectly right there. So I was filling around with a couple lines, but essentially I told myself I'm going to go 750. I was going to go 770 with a stop above, or I'm sorry, 650, 670 with a stop above 680. That was my plan on that. Very similar to Selena. I think hers was actually the exact same. Me and Selena, shout out to her. We were on a wavelength today. It was awesome. So executed, bam, at my 650 line. Obviously, I go 3 cents below. So I got 647 execution right there. And then this little chug along here, I was a little cautious about this, especially after making the higher low, coming into zombie times there. I was telling myself, and I said this in our Discord tag group, I was like, if I was long, this might be something that longs are looking for now. We're going into zombie times, you're still basing at that 6, you've got this higher low, you're kind of hovering below VWAP. So I told myself, all right, I canceled my ad for above VWAP and I lowered my stop because I already locked in gains today. I didn't want to get greedy. I didn't want to, do anything fishy. And so I'm in small size here. I'm in really small size. I think that second win there was just like a few bucks, right? So obviously that's good, but I'm in small size and I'm not going to get greedy. So I just said, all right, I'm going to add here. I'm already in, but I'm not going to, do anything else with this. I'm going to let the trade play out and I'm going to have patience. So I put a fantasy cover down at the $6 line. So I did 603. Obviously, we are playing line to line, guys. MIC teaches this so clearly. I'm not trying to go home run for breaking 6. Sure, that would be nice, but I want to just cover at the support. I want to cover where my lines are. So I had my fantasy over at 603, and then I had my stop order out at 673. So I moved my stop down to 673, which was like right here. So essentially, I was okay with it wicking view up and then plummeting, but if it went above, I'm just going to stop out for that small loss. So my cover fantasies are out. My hard stops are out. I'm in small size. I've already locked in gains on this trade. Everything in me is sit back and be patient. Sit back and be patient. I know a lot of people are going to have time stops on this. They're like, okay, it's still holding up. I'm going to stop out. I don't think that's a bad idea. But because I was in small size, I had my risk in check. I wasn't giving back my gains on the day. I was in small size. Then I'm going to let it play out. So obviously, as you guys can see, came down, wicked me, got executed right there. And that's pretty close to dead bottom. The 6 line has continued to hold. We're going into zombie times now. Obviously, I have no open positions whatsoever. Not messing around with a stock that's holding up on a support line like this. Once that breaks, it could be a really good play, a death line play. Once it breaks, 6 or 580, or I'm sorry, 590. But I'm calling it a day because I've got work. I schedule my work so that I force myself to have to walk away and get ready around zombie time. So obviously, you guys can tell I'm pretty pumped today. The P&L is small, even though it is my biggest P&L to date with MIC. But the thing that I'm so happy about is I followed process. I shorted outer lines. I played line to line. I locked in gains. I re-added on a winning trade. I guess that's a way of adding to a winner. So I added to my winner, small size. I was patient. I had risk management in check, hard stops in, and I covered and shorted line to line. So I hope this kind of thought process helped some of you guys. If you played this as well, let me know. And of course, if you have any critiques for this as well, let me know. If there's anything that you guys like, okay, maybe you should have thought this or done this. Obviously, it's hindsight, so it worked out. But if you guys saw something that I didn't, please don't hesitate to let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap. I've got to head out and go to work. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.